Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Omega pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. We are really close to the Omega pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. We have quite a few great matches set for tonight, and we are going to be doing some predictions here for the card. I'm joined here tonight by New Generation and Reaper. They will both be giving their predictions as well as my predictions. But we're going to go ahead and start things off here with the first match on the card, which will be later on in the pre-show. It's going to be Jay Glenn defending the Xtreme Championship, and we have no idea who he's going to face.
I, myself, even though some people do not like Jay Glenn, he's on that list of some people, if you know, you know. But even though Jay Glenn, some people don't like him, he's an established name, so I gotta go with Jay Glenn retaining his title.
That's a very good prediction there. Reaper, what do you think?
Well, as we've seen on past times, most of the time, people who defend their titles in the pay-per-views most likely to defend the title, as we've seen countless as times. But I think Jay Glenn, I don't think he has what it takes to defend the title. After the matches he's been having, that last man standing match, that was brutal. And I think going into his match now, that pain, that's going to go into him, and that's going to bother him during the entire match, and he might just lose that one. But it depends on the stipulation. If the stipulation can change anything. But I'm just going to go with whoever faces Jay Glenn, they're going to win it.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and say whoever the opponent is going to win. You had a really good point about the damage he's been taking, of course, defending his title twice in a row and then only getting a day off now. I think I'm also going to go ahead and say Jay Glenn's probably going to win because we've seen him defend the title once already, and he was pretty dominant in that match, so I think we're going 2-1, 2 for Jay Glenn and 1 for the mystery opponent. Anyway, we're going to move on to the first match of the actual pay-per-view card. It's going to be the Game Over defending the Fight Tag Team Championships against the Blood Brothers, who are also former Fight Tag Team Champions.
I, myself, have to go with Game Over, as they beat the B Team at the last pay-per-view, and the B Team were very good tag champions, and that's a pretty big win, so I gotta go with a retaining Game Over.
When I was watching that match, I noticed something that a lot of people did not catch. You saw how much better chemistry the Blood Brothers had. Like, that chemistry just was went all over. And we have chemistry like that to be able to beat the tag team champions like that. But most of the times when that happens, the team wins, they're going to become new tag team champions. So I'm going to say the Blood Brothers are going to become the champions once again.
So I'm going to be the tiebreaker here on this. This match, I mean, no matter what, this is going to be a good match. Two great teams going head-to-head here tonight. But I think I'm going to stick with my gut and say that the Blood Brothers are going to defeat Game Over for the championships. Because, I mean, like I said, they've been the champions before, so they know what it's like to be the champions, and they know what they have to do in order to win the titles. But up next we have the Intercontinental Championship. Jackson Hawk, the man who defeated Randy Orton for the title, will be defending it against Edwin Baldwin. Of course, we've seen Edwin Baldwin challenge for the title once before. That was against Randy Orton. He did fail in that match, and he won his first ever match on the main roster against Jackson Hawk last week on Fight, though. So you have to take that into consideration as well.
Just like you said, whatever his name is, it failed. Jackson Hawk succeeded. I'm going with Jackson Hawk.
Going with Edwin on this one. There's no need to explain. Just Edwin all the way. So
now it's again, I'm going to have to split the difference here. But I mean, like I just said, Edwin Baldwin did win his first match on the main roster. Since he's been on the main roster, he actually won this match last week on Fight against Jackson Hawk, so I'm going to go with what we most recently have seen, and I think Edwin Baldwin has honed his craft just enough that he will have Jackson Hawk's number later on tonight, and I think he will be winning the Intercontinental Championship. But now we have the Battle Tag Team Championships. Of course, the champions, the Usos, are going to be defending their championships against the newly returned team of Chaos. Of course, that is consisting of Killer Kyle, Wyke, and Rhett. And I believe it's going to be Killer Kyle and Wyke who will be competing in that match. And they did lose to the Usos this past Wednesday on Battle. So take that in consideration when you're talking about your predictions. But I'll go ahead and go to you, New Generation, see what you have to say.
So, I'm about to contradict what I just said for the last prediction. I went with Jackson, even though Edwin beat him, but I gotta go with Chaos, because they did beat the Usos. So, yeah, I just contradicted what I did last time, but you know, who cares?
So, even though you're going with Chaos as well, okay, even though the Usos did defeat them, I mean,
crap, I said it the wrong way.
Sorry, but one of the Usos, I believe Jay, he fought with a hurt knee before, and he did not get that much action into the match. It was mostly Jimmy, I believe. Jimmy, I cannot tell if they've seen those two, I'm sorry, but I believe it was Jimmy who got mostly all the action in, and Jay, I believe, at the injured knee, he hasn't been doing well, so you got to wonder, is he going to recover from that knee injury? Or is it going to leave on to Jimmy to come back and get the win for them again?
That is very true. Jay Uso did injure his knee before the Lockdown pay-per-view, and he has slowly been recovering. Still been able to compete, though, thank goodness, unlike what we saw with Jeff Hardy recently. But in this match, I believe that I'm going to agree with you both. I'm going to go ahead and say Chaos is going to win. Also, taking into consideration that knee injury, I just believe that Chaos didn't quite have what they needed yet when they first came back. I mean, it was their first match back in years. So I think they just need to get their chemistry back, and I feel like they will be able to do it later on tonight and win the championships. And I believe that Chaos will be the new Battle Tag Team Champions. And now we have the United States Championship. Seth Rollins will be defending against the only man who was able to defeat him these past 4 weeks, and that was Blackjack. Of course, Seth Rollins had a series of matches in order to be a part of the United States Championship match, and if you could defeat him, basically you would be added to the match, and Blackjack was the only one who was able to do it. So what do you guys think?
I think that Blackjack will be taking the title off of Seth Rollins. Of course, Seth Rollins, he has done it all. He's done a lot of things in the business. Too many things to count, too many accomplishments, but I gotta go with Blackjack to win.
Blackjack, I think that he does not deserve to even have a title match in the first place, so I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Blackjack also will win the United States Championship. Considering what we've seen him do against Seth Rollins, he defeated him in that one-on-one match. So, I mean, what else is there to say? He's defeated the champion before, so you've got to walk into this match thinking that he is going to win it. So, like you said, I'm also going to go for Blackjack in this match. Up next, we have the Women's Championship. Becky Lynch was supposed to be defending the title against Bayley, but we have some news here. Bayley has injured her right shoulder. Of course, she's had it taped up ever since she came back. She injured it in that last match they had on Battle, and she was not medically cleared to compete. And so now this match has just become an open challenge, and Becky Lynch agreed to it. So, I mean, what are your thoughts?
You'll need better trainers to help these people from not getting injured. But I think that Becky Lynch was prepared for Bayley, and since it's not going to be Bayley anymore, who knows who it's going to be? So I got to go with the mystery person.
That's a very good point. I think I'm actually going to agree with you on that because we've only seen Becky Lynch face Bayley for the past 4 or 5 weeks now. And, I mean, Bayley even had her number. So, like, Becky is not in a good mindset right now. She was walking out of that last match just very upset. And I think the nerves are going to get to her here tonight. And I feel like whoever she is facing is going to win the title.
Okay, so every time we watch Bayley and Becky go against each other, Bayley has usually gotten the upper hand. But with this title match on the line, she really needs to focus on it because anything can happen during these times, and during these moments, even though Becky has been beating Becky all of the time, I think Becky will just retain the title because that's wrestling logic for you folks.
Looks like we all said, or no, two of us said the mystery opponent, and then one said Becky Lynch. So after that, we have the Universal Championship. Brandon McClurg will be defending the title against Austin Sanity. Of course, he defeated Jay Glenn for the number one contendership a number of weeks ago on Fight. This match, I mean, is going to be a great match. Austin Sanity almost became first ever King of the Ring, so there's a very high chance for him to become the champion here tonight. What do you guys think?
I think Sanity. Well, yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. Austin Insanity, please.
Okay, so it looks like you both just agreed at like the exact same time. So you both said Austin Sanity. I don't know on this match. This is one of the matches like these two are both.
With a side of 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, please.
Okay, but yeah, this is one of those matches like they're both such high caliber competitors. You know, like. Brandon McClurg's held the title for almost 200 days now. He's getting up to one of the longest reigns we've ever had. Austin Insanity is yet to hold the championship here in the XWF, so it'd be a great feat for him to defeat Brandon McClurg, but I think I'm just going to go with the tail of the tape here and say that Brandon McClurg will retain. But now we'll move on to our main event. First time, or one of the first times, the main event of a pay-per-view is not for a championship, but instead something much more. It'll be Mark Wildhawk going up against Travis Tyler. Of course, Travis Tyler, the owner of the company. And if Mark Wildhawk wins, he becomes the general manager of Battle. But if Travis Tyler wins, Mark Wildhawk is fired. So this match is very high stakes here for both of these competitors. I mean, there's not much else to say. Like, what do you guys think?
This match is very similar to the match I want to see, but I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. But, I feel like bold move here, but Mark Wildhawk is going to kick Travis out of the office.
Well, I mean, either way, Travis Tyler does get to stay as the owner of the company, but it basically kicks his wife out of office.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right there. Yeah.
The thing is that nobody wants Mark Wildhawk to win this, but when was the last time Travis Tyler ever fought? Like, think about that. When's the last time he fought?
Not since the channel has been a thing, and he's retired many years ago. He
has
not competed in a ring in years.
He's broken. We hope that he can outdo the odds, but Mark Wildhawk, he's young, he's more dangerous. He's just, we're gonna sadly have a new general manager, and that's the sad fact. We're gonna have a new general manager. That's gonna suck, but there's no way that we're not gonna have a new general manager at the end of the night.
Well, I mean, you did bring a really good point up that Travis Tyler has not competed in many years, and also that is a really big factor in this match. Of course, Mark Wildhawk a lot younger. He's been in the ring more frequently, recently at least. But I mean, Travis Tyler, like he said, he was a former world champion back in his time. He's definitely not a bad competitor at all. I feel like he has probably been training at least a little bit for this match. And in the end, I think he's going to be able to do it and finally get Mark Wildhawk off the roster. But that's going to be it for our predictions, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take you guys down now to ringside for the first match, which is going to be the Xtreme Championship match, and we will find out what it is. And now it's time for the first match of the night, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Xtreme Championship on the line here tonight. Of course, the champion, Jay Glenn, is going to be defending the championship. And we're about to spin the wheel to see what the match type is going to be. And now the wheel has been spun, and let's see what it's going to land on. And it's going to be a TLC match, ladies and gentlemen. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
The following contest is a table and is for the Xtreme Championship.
Now here comes the Xtreme Champion, Jay Glenn.
And his opponent, from Indianapolis, Indiana, weighing in at 220 pounds, he is the Xtreme Champion, the X Factor, Jay Graham.
Of course, the champion making his way to the ring. Of course, you can see the championship has been hung above the ring because this is a TLC match, which is a ladder match, but anything goes, basically. But who will he be facing for the championship tonight? That is the question at hand. Oh! It looks like Dominic Peters is going to challenge for the Xtreme Championship. Of course, yesterday on Evolve, he won the Battle Royal in order to make it make a draft pick for Fight. I mean, technically he hasn't been drafted, but I guess he technically is on the main roster now. So yeah, I mean, I guess he can challenge for the title, and he is. He's here. So you can see the Xtreme Championship is on the line here tonight. And it's going to be Dominic Peters challenging Jay Glenn for the championship. And the bell has been rung. Jay Glenn immediately going out of the ring. And he immediately gets that ladder, going to try and quickly get his championship down. But now Dominic Peters caught him. And now taking him towards the steel steps here, but Jay Glenn gets the elbows to the stomach. Oh, and sends Dominic Peters over the barricade into the crowd. And he's going to follow after him here. Dominic with a huge right hand sends Jay Glenn back towards the ring. Jay Glenn again going back towards the crowd here. Oh, and again just sent back over the barricade. Dominic Peters is not letting him stay over there. But now once again he's going into the crowd, and a huge knee to the gut there from Jay Glenn. And turning him around, a big right hand. Now these two are fighting in the crowd, which is completely legal. This is a TLC match. There's no countouts, no disqualification. The only way you can win, though, is by climbing the ladder and grabbing the championship. Jay Glenn, huge DDT there to Dominic. Huge clothesline there from Peters, though. Belly to belly there from Dominic Peters onto the concrete. And the knee to the face as well. Oh man, a huge move there from Jay Glenn. Just taking out Dominic Peters. Now going to head back towards the ring here. And now Jay Glenn back into the ring. Going to pick up that ladder once again here. And now Jay Glenn climbing the ladder, going to try and reclaim this championship, get it down from the hanger here. And Dominic Peters, big right hand to the leg of Jay Glenn, trying to get him off the ladder here. Just repeatedly attacking the legs of Jay Glenn, trying to get him to come down from the ladder. And finally that one stuns Jay. A punch to the back now. And now Dominic Peters, oh my gosh, powerbomb off the ladder. Dominic Peters, I guess there really can't be any bad blood between these two, because he already won the match, giving him a contract for fight after the draft. So no matter what happens, Dominic Peters gets drafted to fight. And a huge powerbomb there from Jay Glenn, just showing off the strength. Now Jay Glenn going towards the timekeeper's area. Of course, they have left the area for this TLC match, but he grabbed one of the chairs that's over there. Oh, and went to hit Dominic with that chair, but Dominic caught him. Oh, and a huge right hand. Kick to the stomach now, Dominic Peters. Oh, face first onto the turnbuckle. Picking Jay Glenn back up. Oh, and knocking over the ladder there. He shoved Dominic Peters into the ladder and a sling blade. Oh, but Dominic reversed that into a headbutt. Now he's got him in a fireman's carry position. Oh my gosh. Face first into the mat there. And now Dominic's got the chair. Oh my gosh, just striking him right in the stomach. And now the back with that solid steel chair. Oh, and he threw it there, hit him top of the head. And now Dominic, the Shining Light DDT. Now Dominic Peters going to set this ladder up, possibly going to go and try and get this championship. What a feat this will be for Dominic Peters in his debut match on the main roster. But Jay Glenn, oh my gosh, huge driver, takes out Dominic Peters. Big right hand on the outside. And a clothesline, oh, and knocking over the ladder once again. Dominic went for a clothesline, but Jay caught him with another. Oh, and Jay Glenn went to climb that ladder, but Dominic Peters just knocked him off. Now again, got him in a fireman's carry. Oh my gosh, Jay Glenn's out. This is Dominic Peters' opportunity now. Going to try and get this championship. And like I said, what a huge victory this would be for him. Can he do it? He's desperately trying to get this championship off of the hook here above the ladder. Jay Glenn back up to his feet, and he's scaling the ladder now as well. Huge right hand there. Multiple punches just to the side of the face knocks down Dominic Peters. And Chris Jericho, what in the world? This is not the same Chris Jericho we saw on Battle. This yet again, Chris Jericho just interrupting the Xtreme Championship match. Of course, former champion himself, but now just staring at Jay Glenn as he's standing on top of the ladder. He doesn't know quite what to do here. Jay Glenn is not in a good position because he knows if he comes down, Jericho's going to try and attack him, but he also knows if he tries to get the championship, Jericho's going to attack him. So he has basically no choice but to just stand there. Jericho's just waiting for him to do something. And Dominic Peters just slowly trying to get back up to his feet to continue competing in this match. Now Dominic Peters back up to his feet. Now he's trying to figure out what to do here. And it looks like he's going to shove the ladder over. And Jay Glenn just taken out there. Now Jericho. See, this is exactly what I was saying. Jericho. Code breaker. Code breaker from Chris Jericho. And now Chris Jericho is going to leave the ring. And Jay Glenn's just been busted open with that code breaker. My goodness. I don't know what Chris Jericho has against Jay Glenn, but I mean, it wasn't even Jay Glenn who he attacked on Battle, so I think he just wants the Xtreme Championship back. But Jay Glenn back up to his feet. Dominic Peters trying to get this championship. But Jay Glenn going up the ladder now as well in a right hand. Oh, a huge one that time. Just trying to take down Dominic Peters, trying to prevent him from staying on the ladder. Now he's knocked off. Now Jay Glenn's going to go to retain the championship here. Can he do it? Struggling a bit here to get the championship off the hook. Jay Glenn's still desperately trying to get the championship off the hook. And Dominic Peters getting back up to his feet. Jay Glenn's got to hurry. And just in the nick of time, he gets it. So Jay Glenn is still the Xtreme Champion, ladies and gentlemen. And he has now retained the championship twice. So Jay Glenn retains the Xtreme Championship, but that is all for the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you in just under 3 minutes for the Omega pay-per-view.
I could stand behind my barricade, do what I'm told and be afraid to change, while isolated by the mainstream. With the current up against me. Maybe if my arms were 10 feet tall, I could finally reach that crystal ball. 'Cause I still find inside there's something braver, and I won't be the silent damnation. I'm making conversation, but I'll state my observation.